Hey everybody, welcome to section 4, where we will learn how to address some common issues and learn some tips for administering ArcGIS server. In the last section, we learned how to automate some common server administration tasks. So in this section, we're going to tackle this topic in 3 different videos. First, we're going to look at some common issues that may arise, and this is not going to be an exhaustive list, but it'll be some issues that I think you might find to be helpful to learn how to address. And then next, we'll learn about ArcGIS Web Adapter and how to install it. And last, we'll learn about some tips, just a handful of tips for ArcGIS server administration. In this video, we'll learn how to address some common issues when administering ArcGIS server and services. Okay, so first we'll learn how to check server diagnostics using the Diagnostics tool, and then we'll learn how to address 4 of the many issues that may arise. One is how to address an invalid database connection, how to address a browser crash when publishing a service definition, how to deal with changed service URLs with an upgrade to a new version of ArcGIS server, and then how to deal with the Share As option that is grayed out in ArcMap. So server diagnostics. There's a diagnostics tool that is provided with ArcGIS server that you can use to, first, when you're installing ArcGIS server, to validate that your machine is meeting the minimum requirements. But you can also use it after installation to diagnose any problems with server. So to run the tool, in the command line, you want to browse to the ArcGIS server installation directory / ArcGIS server tools server diag, and then execute server diag. So you'll need to run this tool as the ArcGIS server installation owner, and then it's going to generate a report with the status of all the performed checks. Those checks are shown here in this table, and you'll see a check number, check title, and then the status. And so we've got a check for installation as root, 64-bit architecture, OS version, host name, installed packages, system limits, ports, host name IP address mismatches, checking etc. hosts for host name entry, and then checking processes for ArcGIS server core services. Issue number 2. When you get an error that says invalid database connection or a data item is inaccessible, when you're trying to register a database with the ArcGIS server, then what's going on is basically that you don't have the database client software or libraries that you need in order to register your database. So you need to grab the 64-bit version of the database client software depending on what your database platform is, and then you'll need to install this and restart ArcGIS server, try to re-register your database again, and it should go as planned. Issue number 3, we're just whipping right through here. If you are trying to publish a service definition file and the browser crashes, chances are you are transferring a whole lot of data to the server in the process of publishing. If it's over 2 gigabytes and you're not using Chrome, then your browser is going to crash. So basically you need to use Chrome. So you could play it safe and just use Chrome, or you could check to see if your service definition is over 2 gigabytes. And if you don't know where your service definition file is saved, then you will want to navigate to this folder, because unless you specified otherwise, this is where the default location is. Okay, next, service URLs changed with an upgrade. So when upgrading to ArcGIS 10.5 for server, there's going to be a change. And this is basically just because it's the default ArcGIS server exposes its web services through port 6080 and uses the site name of ArcGIS, so those are both in the URLs. If you want to preserve your existing URLs and instance names, then you're going to want to use the Web Adapter. And the video following this one will learn more about Web Adapter and how to install it. If you are going to publish a service from an ArcMap document and the Share As service option is grayed out, well, that means you're in layout view. And so the good thing is that it's very easy to fix this. You just switch to data view. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate what that might look like. So I've got an MXD here pulled up, and we're going to go ahead, go to File, Share As, and you can see that this is grayed out. The service option is grayed out, and that's because, in fact, if you look down here, you can see that we are in layout view. And if I zoom out a little bit, you can see that, yes, indeed, I am in layout view. So I'm going to switch to data view. Great. And then I'm going to go up here, File, Share As, and you can see I now have the option to share as a service. Okay. In summary, in this video we learned how to address some common issues with ArcGIS Server, including use of the Server Diagnostic tool, invalid database connection errors, browser crashes, grayed out share as service options, and change service URLs with ArcGIS for server upgrades.